With us now, South Carolina Senator and 2024 Republican presidential candidate Tim Scott. Senator, it's great to have you on the show. I want to get your kind of take on the breaking news with Mitch McConnell there.
Thank you.
You heard at the top, you had a lot of Republicans coming out supporting the minority leader. What do you think? Because senators like Rand Paul, some of your colleagues, Josh Hawley have come out questioning the effectiveness of McConnell going forward and his ability to lead this caucus. Your thoughts on this?
Well, in this hour, we'll have an opportunity to hear from Leader McConnell as it relates to his health and what his doctor says about his health. It's really important for us to have someone in that position who can do the job and do it effectively. Our nation could be looking at a red wave if I'm the presidential nominee for our party. We would expand the majority in the House. We would actually win back the majority in the Senate. So making sure that we're ready to go to work on day one of my agenda will be really helpful.
It's interesting because we talk a lot about age. It's one of the big topics. And, of course, President Biden's age, many people, 70%, believe that he is too old to be the president again. And then the vice president said this about the president's age and whether she could step in. Watch.
Every vice president understands that when they take the oath, that they must be very clear about the responsibility they may have to take over the job of being president. I am no different.
Which could be a bit of a nightmare, Senator, for Democrats because her approval rating is roughly an anemic 32%.
Well, Nightmare on Elm Street was a movie, but A Nightmare in America would be Kamala Harris as president of the United States. One of the reasons why I am the best candidate to defeat Joe Biden is because the truth of my life disproves the lies of the radical left. I can't think of anything worse than Joe Biden and Kamala Harris winning another 4 years, except perhaps Kamala Harris winning 4 new years. Our country needs to get away from 16% inflation, the loss of thousands of spending dollars per American family. The way we do that is by electing a new president, a new leader who fixes our economy and stands toe-to-toe with our adversaries. That would be me, of course.
I want to get your take quickly on a story we just ran about what's happening in Fulton County, the trials that are about to start. And all of it is being televised. I don't necessarily need you to weigh in on the trials, but the fact that it's being televised, does this change the game at all? Does it make it more of a distraction? What do you think about the fact that going forward, these are all going to be televised, as you see on the right-hand side of your screen?
Well, Trace, what you and I both know, I hope, is that we need Lady Justice wearing a blindfold. The one thing America cannot stand is for Lady Justice to be weaponized against political opponents. Having a televised trial is one of the ways that the radical left hopes to make sure that Donald Trump is our nominee and that he loses. That is an insidious plot from the radical left. Progressives should be ashamed of themselves. Let's let the voters decide the next election. That's the American way. It is unacceptable and un-American to weaponize the DOJ against political opponents. And frankly, I know we're talking about Georgia's justice system and not just the DOJ, but there does seem to be a coordination between the state and the federal, or the local DA and the federal Department of Justice.
Speaking of voters and elections, the next debate, the GOP primary debate, sir, is coming up in a few weeks. The last debate, I want to put this on the screen because this is the time that each of the candidates had to speak. And you can see there, you're down at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at 8 minutes, 15 seconds. You know, if it was a sport, you'd be saying, you know, he didn't get the reps that he needed. You didn't get the reps during the debate. What's the strategy going forward, Senator, for you to get more speaking time, for you to get your name out there more often?
Yeah. Great question. Substance will drive my debate performance. I will provide the American people with an adult in the room. What we cannot abide by is a food fight where the two biggest winners are Joe Biden's campaign and national media that loves to see Republicans fighting with Republicans. The road to socialism runs right through a divided Republican Party. I will increase my time by allowing the contrast between the candidates on the stage to manifest, and then keep talking about why I know America can do for anyone what she's done for me. We have to restore hope, create opportunities, and protect America. That starts with backing the blue and closing our southern border.
Yeah, it should be noted that instead of 8 candidates, so far there are only 6 candidates who have qualified for the second debate. So we'll see if that changes the dynamic. Senator Tim Scott, great to have you on as always. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Trace.